link for YouTube or something else, just in case it ends up being too much. All right. Are we live on everything and on Instagram and recording? All right. Good morning, everyone. For those of you joining live on Instagram, you may or may not end up having to jump over to one of our other platforms. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Donald. And you might have to join on one of those spaces. So I believe we'll be able to drop the YouTube channel in there, as well as maybe the Facebook page, or you could even hit the links in the bio and jump on and be able to listen in as directly from Zoom. This morning, and again, I should probably start by reintroducing myself. My name is Dr.Z Groves, also known as Dr.Z. I am the owner of Greater Self LLC and Dr.Z Groves Family and Counseling Incorporated. This morning on our Tea Talks with Dr. Z, our Freedom Tea Talks, I figured since we are currently open for enrollment for this next cohort, why not have one of our live guests jump on here and just share. This is one of the OGGs. So like before G was even a G thing, that we have the privilege of being able to speak with this morning, as he is currently, in not transition, but what is that thing you called when you're on your way to somewhere? He's commuting to his own place of business. And I want to introduce Mr. Donald Franklin, who is a photographer and owner of multiple businesses that I will let him explain a little bit more of. But some of those lovely photos that you all have caught here or there have absolutely been taken by this gentleman. And I would love for you, Donald, to just share who you are, your passion, who you're serving now, and how people can get in touch with you to start with, and then we will go from there in our journey. And FY, good morning, everyone on all the platforms, IG, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere, all of you. Good morning, good morning. So, Donald, have you take it away. And if you're on IG, I'm not even sure how this is totally going to work, but you may be able to hear his voice, but you will not be able to directly speak to him. And we can even drop his Instagram link that you can go follow him also. All right.
Good morning, all. Thank you for that incredible introduction, Dr. Z, but I really don't like being called the OO triple OG. No, but even by you even saying that actually brought me just right now to when we first met. I don't know if you remember, but it was a small studio space, and you were referred to me by someone else, and you were doing your yoga back then, and by you just calling me OG, that's when I just thought, where did we first? Yeah, so that's where I remember that. But yeah, moving forward, yeah, you've done a whole lot, you've grown a whole lot since then. That's have I. My name is Donald Franklin. I am the owner of Donald Franklin Portraits, Donald Franklin Productions. I just use my name to brand myself. But I am a photographer, graphic designer, video content creator, as well as I print. I'm a printer as well. And that all encompassed in the graphic arts genre.
FYI, the first Greater Self printed apparel done by this man here. Literally, like he was the first person to put Greater Self on fabric. I should have wore like one of them, but we'll get back to it.
When you call me triple OG, that just brought up. That's the first person.
I mean, so the evolution of Greater Therapist Vibes being the name of the current program, and people being able to be a therapist to themselves in their own journey and process. When you joined, there wasn't even an online portal. You literally were the first, okay, I got this stuff together. It's a huge printable PDF. Here you go. And all of the training was live. For 12 weeks, we were gutting it out.
No, yeah, indeed. And that actually, it actually catapulted a bunch of things in myself because, like, I know you had the manifesto that you have, and we went through that during the whole course, which I'm pretty good with the money part, but as far as the self care part and the self health, I'm a vegetarian, so I do kind of watch what I eat. But it was just for me, like the greatest thing that I pulled from the whole course and everything was actually just carving out and making myself carve out just a little time for me in order to grow, to develop. Because like I said, like my name, Donald Franklin Portraits, production is, I do so many things and I run so much. I have kids, family, so like I'm always everywhere, but I don't do anything for myself. So that was like one of the takeaways. Because when I myself, the other students, I don't know if they were at home, different places, but I would go on my hike while I was actually going over through the course. So that was actually a time that I got out, and it was right at the tail end of the pandemic too. So that was an actualization of us being cooped up. We didn't really have anything to do, so we had to look at ourselves, analyze ourselves, and see our flaws, our truths. So like going through that whole thing, that did open my eyes to a lot of the things, and you did open my eyes to me being okay with not being able to take care of everyone, because that was just in me, which I'm sure that's in a lot of people. They tend to just take care of everyone else, failing to realize what about me. And I think that's because that's how I was raised. I was raised with my grandmother, and that's all I ever seen her do was take care of everyone, all the other kids, all which weren't even her kids. So I know for sure that was passed on to me. So even subconsciously, I never even thought about I'm okay. I'm always okay. I'm okay, okay, okay. And I know that's what you used to always tell me when I say I can't complain. You tell me, yeah, you can't complain. You do have the right to complain.
That
so I don't
part.
even say that anymore because that was always me. Hey, how you doing, Donald? Oh, I can't complain. But yeah, I can't complain. I choose not to, but that's my choice. But I can if I wanted to complain. And that was one of the takeaways. So I don't use that anymore. I just, I guess now my new thing is just I'm blessed another day, which I am. So I don't say anymore. When it's, hey, how you doing, Donald? I can't complain. I'm just blessed another day, which that is.
So a mindset shift for you, like one, recognizing, excuse me, that you really did place other people first because that's what was modeled for you. That's what was happening in your household. You watched a matriarch of your family care for it and make sure everybody else was okay, maybe even to her own detriment at sometimes. And you just embodied, okay, well, when you become an adult, that's what you do. You take care of everybody else. You make sure everyone else is good. You don't take time for yourself. You don't think about investing or exploring in yourself. And I'm wondering if there's some space of the perfectionism that maybe used to come out where you wouldn't feel comfortable to share your gifts or your joys, or even honing in on the fact. And I remember distinctly in one of our sessions where you realized you really enjoyed being able to capture moments with families, potentially because of what you experienced and saw with growing up with your grandmother, and like what that looked like, that being able to capture a moment for a family that they can cherish later is part of some of the things that drove you and like motivates you in your photography component of the businesses that you do run, and ways that you are able to show up and support other people. But you understanding, yeah, I can take care of me. Everybody can be saved. And it is not my job to save them. But if I don't do me, if I don't expand my businesses or things that I care about, it doesn't allow you to be in a good space. So yeah, and that mind component, you were able to shift to caring for you. The body component, you already said it, like you chose not to eat meat. So like that's already something that was coming up for you, and being mindful of money. And then even in that self component, being able to dream and look at, all right, so what's next? And I'm wondering for you these days, what's on the horizon? What do you have coming up? And if people want to work with you, what's the thing that, like, every time you think about it now, really inspires you and you're like, I literally can't wait to do ... What are those things? What can we expect as we will see you more on the socials and media and showing off the work that you really do?
Yeah, for me, like moving forward, I've actually, because even I know back when I did your last family shoot, I do, that's my passion for family. But as we all know, we have bills to pay. So like the genre, because I take pictures for my son in sports. So like it's high volume photography. That's the technical jargon. But I
Okay.
know like off of that, that like sprung off of me doing graduation pictures like for cap and
Mm.
gown, and that's really lucrative. And I have like two schools now, which one of them is a private school, and I've done the whole school, which it was daunting. And next time moving forward, I'll actually get some help because I
What
like to
are you
make
going to
sure.
build your team now and allow them to support you so you can be even more successful?
Well, Dr.Z, you're gonna still have to work. We're gonna pray, and you're gonna have to work. That's one of the components. Even back going through the course that I'm not gonna make up something. I do have a problem just letting go. So, but by me doing that whole school, and it was over, I think, 358 kids. Yeah, I did it by myself. The next day, I felt like I did a wedding. I just stayed in, like, because I didn't think it was gonna be, set up, kids sit down, a picture, and but I mean, the school loved me because I did their graduation pictures, and like I said, they got rid of their previous photographer, and like they brought me in to do the whole school. So that's a school in the valley. Then I have another school in Inglewood. So like I see that potential as far as the monetary value, and still me doing. I still like taking pictures, capturing images. The family portraits, I still love that, which I will be still pursuing that. But that's just another avenue. I really didn't think about like high volume schools, but
Mm-hmm.
in retrospect, kids always grow and there's always more schools coming in. So that is something that I am going to have to develop a team and let
Yeah,
go
so
because I cannot just do
here's
it
your
all myself.
coaching for the day. Here's Donald's free coaching for the day. And I hope that other people are able to hear this and also embody this for whatever you've got going on. So whether it's your business, your household, maybe even your friendships, or just other ways that you connect with other people, you can go further, faster, and be more abundant when you are able to develop that team, whether that team is of support, whether it's just the people like your hype man in the corner. They're like, I'm not touching a thing, but I got you if you need motivation. Developing a team will put you in a position to actually be able to do more of what you enjoy doing, that you may even at some point have folks that you've been able to train to capture images in the way that you do. And also, they won't be you, but they'll be able to develop their own level of how they do it under your guidance, that they can be a representative of your company, that they can go out and support being, whether it's at other schools, whether you move into different types of arenas, but you'll have the capacity to do more when you allow yourself to give someone else space to grow and try new things and to be able to work with you, again, under your guidance, your apprentice, until they're ready to go out there on their own, that you can actually book more things. You'll be able to make more money because you physically can only be in one place. So you can only serve so many directly. Hence, growing these folks. And I would suggest, I'm not going to say don't ever use family, because there's a beauty and benefit in allowing your family to be in a space where they can support what's also supporting them. There's another space of ensuring that whether it's family or someone that maybe you just happen to pay attention to and notice, that they still are going to meet your needs. That you don't put yourself in a position where you keep someone or you bring someone on board because it's easy and you can save money and don't have to pay as much, but they aren't actually supporting what you most need, which then causes you to have to work more. So Donald, what I am highly strongly encouraging you to do is put some feelers out there. Like, Put a message out on the social medias. If you already know someone that's interested, check and see who really does want to learn more, that they may be able to even support potentially with other businesses that you have going, like the printing work, and or if they're interested in photography, that they can start learning. You can start developing what would a mentorship look like, what would maybe a paid volunteership over time look like, that you start to get more of your time back so you can enjoy whatever you want to do, however you like to do it, but also still be able to create these images and these memories for folks in a way that's meaningful and in the way that you most want to show up in the world. So just my direct, blatant request that you do allow at least one person the opportunity to totally come and support you. And if you need to, yes, put those feelers out there, try some folks out, and don't be scared to say like, yeah, this isn't working, so that you don't find yourself in a position where it would have been easier by yourself, but now it's harder because you're still redoing everything over because you didn't get a chance to train somebody the way you wanted to. What would be your biggest barrier to bringing someone on board right now?
I would have to say it's just me, I guess me knowing the person, like, because I know I have a certain way that I like doing things in a certain, that's kind of why I don't like to release, because again, it doesn't say, take my picture, it says Donald Franklin portrait. So it's kind of like, I know that directly correlates with me. And if anything is ever wrong, I know for sure I'm there to fix it. And I always fix. And that's the reason why, like, my clients, they continue to come back. Even the reason why the school
keep
kicked out
coming back.
So yes, that perfectionism that it's kind of stained my soul. And I know it isn't a good thing, because even back when we did the course years back, that's still one of my biggest things, is letting go. But I think if I know the person, then I'll know what their work ethic. Because my work ethics are, I get it done, and I don't have a problem. I'll make sure it's right. I go over and above. If I can find the people, or I can find the people that are willing to be open to learn and grow and put in that work ethic, then I think I'd be more relaxed and at ease to letting someone come on. But it's mandatory. I do have to find someone to come on, because again, me doing everything myself,
It's not going to
occupied, but exactly. It's daunting on me. And
so
even
how
with the
can you
personal
embody?
care.
How can you embody that? How can you embody more of how you want the other person to show up and be, by maybe even getting to a space of creating documentation that will be supportive towards somebody being able to understand how and why you do things, and maybe even recording how you go about doing stuff, just having someone do that. So that way it could potentially free up some more of your time, that you have the recordings of how you did things, that you could articulate to somebody else. The reason I did this for this particular way is because, look, here on this print, this is how it's going to show up. This is how the lighting in this particular direction or angle will allow you to accentuate different features or different facts that the person may be wanting, and or you just know will look well. And upon checking in with them and getting more clarity on their vision of the photo shoot, you're able to ensure that you do show up. And while I am not heavy on perfection, done is probably better than perfect. Having it be really, really great or really good allows you to be able to put your all into it, get whatever you can get out of it. So if there is something you could do better, cool, jot it down, make a note of it so that you take it for the next thing. But being stuck on it and like not moving forward because of that, just literally in your 24 hours a day, that now prevents and backs you up on other things if you're not able to give the full attention, give a good review, and then let it go so that you can move forward with whatever you have next on your agenda.
Indeed. No, yeah, it's actually taking that step and moving forward, like just like I guess analyzing it, looking into it, and because again, I've worked for myself since I don't know since
For a very, very,
yeah,
very, 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 very long time. So it's not like you don't know what you're doing. Clearly you do. However, there's also a space where you can even do what you do even better. And I'm wondering what your timing looks like so far as giving yourself like periods to just evaluate periodically, whether it's once a month, once a quarter, once a year, but looking at, okay, how do I currently have my schedule set up? What am I doing? How often am I doing it? What is that looking like? Where do I want to be spending my time? What actually makes me the most money so that you don't accidentally keep supporting things that feel good, but don't bring the numbers you need it to bring. But somebody else absolutely, was like, oh my gosh, it's the best ever. And you're like, yes, I love that feeling. There should be time and space for that. And time and space to make sure you're meeting your bottom numbers so that you can keep taking care of yourself. I'm hoping you still get a chance to take those hikes and stuff in the morning when it's not freezing cold.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been definitely too cold to hike. But no, I'll actually incorporate that in because, like how you said, I know you try to shoot for us to take a time every week, but I don't, and I that was another thing I come to realization. Excuse me, into realization of, and everybody's different. But I do try once a month to take a me day, and I just chill. If it was, I might want to just binge watch something. I don't know. I just take a me day. Like, no, kids, I don't want to hear. I'm just chilling. So I think I can. Like, I don't do a weekly thing because it's not realistic for me. So if I carve that time out and make it mandatory monthly, I seem to been able to accomplish that. So yeah, I can actually incorporate that into my me day and
So
just taking some time to look at this.
What if you look at two different things that you might want to just embody and incorporate now? So having a me day to like do whatever the heck you want to do because it feels good for you. Yes, please and thank you. What if weekly you maybe give yourself 30 minutes that is similar to that whole me day, and or maybe even another 30 minutes to an hour of just planning for what you've done the past week and this upcoming week. So by the time you get to, by the time you get to your me day, you're not like falling into it and like, I just can't do anything, but you're like, yes, I'm about to go chill out and relax because you feel like you've gotten things more on deck or on board with how you want to be able to do it. So it is realistic and in a time frame that makes sense for you. What would that look like to maybe bring on that time?
Yeah, that would look like something that I can. I can carve out. I can carve out that time because I can incorporate it into it's the time for me to grow in my growth. So like that is something mandatory that needs to be. So yeah, I can definitely start implementing things like that. If I start it and I know myself, kind of like competitive with myself, I like to try to beat myself. So yeah, if I say something like that's just me. If I say it, I want to make sure I do it or I give my best try to get it done. So yeah, I can definitely do that.
Okay, cool. Well, I excuse me, wonder if anybody on any of the platforms maybe has any questions for Donald about his experience just in like the OG GTV that allows me to now call people a G, because once you've made that investment in yourself, they become a greater version of yourself. Like, why wouldn't you be a G? Like, not that everybody needs to be gangsters, but like, if you're gonna be one, why not be the one that's so dope and amazing in the version of you that's possible that you're now able to create and share and do so much more for everybody else in the world because you took that bet on yourself. So if anybody on any of the platforms has any questions for Donald specifically, personally, and or even about just his experience in GTV back in the original version, please feel free to put those out there, and I'm checking the
Yeah.
chats. I know there's a slight delay that we can answer.
And we can change the narrative. What was it? It's original greatness. There we go. That makes it feel a little better.
I'm here for that too. I think there's a beauty and benefit. And I always think to myself, well, my last name starts with the G. So literally I was always going to be a G no matter what. But everybody's last name doesn't end with the G. So it can be whatever G feels right for you. Like, and so far, it's a little quiet over there in the chat. I believe tomorrow is the last day of our open cart for this next cohort that will be kicking off soon. So we'll be having a kickoff call. The way the process has been set up now, you totally have access to a portal with recorded information that you can review for life, whenever, however, plus the contents that you can bring to the live coaching calls to get clarification and ask questions on the different topics that we're exploring in the components. So it's a mind, body, self, and reclamation is the culmination of all the work that we have done, building the foundation of shifting mindsets about your money, about yourself, your values, how you even come to making the decisions you do, and even about how you invest in yourself, to the extent that we then move along to what are you doing with your physical body so you can actually incorporate the things that you want to be creating for yourself. And the self component is, who are you investing in? What things are you incorporating, and what practices are you going to be adding or taking away that are supportive towards physically and mentally being able to become a greater version of yourself, that we at the end are ultimately reclaiming for this moment in time. What will your greater self look like, and how can you embody being a G because you were able to set it off, which is move from surviving to existing to thriving, understanding that all areas of life don't always end up in the thriving state at the same time, but being a G affords you the opportunity to be comfortable with that, while you're also intentionally looking at the transitions and transformations that are available and accessible to you, while taking advantage of any opportunities for financial freedom that will put you in a position to be able to do what it is you most want to do, and doing so from a space of taking those 5 M's, which is your mindset, your how you manage your time, your resources, and when you are able to maximize such things to make sure that you can then move into a space of monetizing to manifest the lifestyle that you are totally looking for. If you have more questions, feel free to text us 626-722-5661. You can send us an email at info@greaterself.org. The doors will be closing after midnight of tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, and the next cohort will be getting underway. All the alums, all the original OGs, by all means, if you have access to the portal, feel free to check in, and I'll see you guys there. If you're sick of doing the same stuff you've always been doing and you're ready to just see what does this next level me look like, this is probably an opportunity to do that. If you've ever considered taking someone else's mastermind or course or class, wouldn't it be great if you actually knew how to embody and take advantage of that fully, because you've created your foundation for how you want to function? I want to thank, like I said, our original OG Donald for showing up, for sharing, for being willing to talk with us, even on his commute to his office to go serve and help other people be greater versions of themselves, and just sharing some insights on your experiences, and even being willing to be coached live this morning so that you can embody some, okay, what are some updates for me in this moment? So, hey, good morning on IG. Another G just jumped on, waving hi to her too. So thank you, Donald, for showing up. We appreciate you. If you guys are looking for him, do check in the comments for his Instagram, which is DF Portraits, and you will be able to, of course, afterwards, when you go back and review these, find him on Instagram, go to his website, get his contact info, get those photos done. And also, if you need print work, this is the man. Like I said, the original printer of Greater Self logo to wear, this man right here. And this all came from working together and then realizing, okay, let's keep working together. How can we collaborate and coordinate to support each other? And bam, here you go. This is how it went. So thank you again, Donald. We appreciate you. And I look forward to speaking to you soon, because I know we need to catch up and do some other things too. So hope you. Well, thank you, everyone. I will be cutting off these streams and see y'all later. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you again, Donald, so much. And I will be reaching out to you privately so that we can talk about what we need to talk about. Thank you again for showing up. All right. Have a great day, everyone.